Hi guys, and I'm very happy to say, live long and prosper. Okay, so, not entirely sure if anyone's going to bother coming to watch because I pretty much ramble too much, but I said once I was set up with everything, I'd try and do it live. So, about a week ago, myself, Paul and Sam, along with Sarah and some of the others, went to the Milan Italian Institute convention for the Shadowhunters. And seriously, I can't believe it's been a week. I mean, I got to finally meet David Castro and Jada Sune and most of the main players of the Shadowhunters. There are only a few missing. Isaiah, who's kind of slowly becoming the Shadowhunter version of Jonathan Frakes, and Arad, but she has cancer because filming, and Harry. I'm not sure why he doesn't do many conventions. He killed them all, I think. I think he killed people with coolness or something. Anyway, so my pictures are up. Well, my best pictures are up. I took about 1,000. And my autographs are up and photo shoots. Yesterday I found out that somebody had taken my photo shoot with Dominic and Matt and cut it in half and was sending it around. Now, the idea of sharing how amazing Matt and Dom are is fine by me. I just wish somebody had warned me or tagged me or something. I don't know. Apart from a few minor meltdowns on my part and a decided lack of knowledge of queuing on the steward's part, it wasn't as terrible as I probably made out it was last weekend on Facebook. I probably made it like it was horror and destruction, and I do kind of have a knack for hyperbole. I do now know that if I go to Milan next year and I want to take a poster for a photo shoot, I'm taking one of those poster tube things. My Since the Humans 2 poster is trashed. I've got a spare one, but you can tell it's handmade because it's covered in glue. I'd have to remake it, and to be honest, Will was the only reason I still wanted to use it, which is good and bad at the same time. I got to give Matt a ruined com badge, which my friend Nadine had made. I still have a few because she made me about 5, and I'm hoping I get to give Alan Van Sprang one day. Maybe it's Shadowhunters convention, maybe it's a Star Trek convention, maybe it's a normal convention. You never know. He's been in a lot of stuff. I got to thank David for his representation of bisexuality, and it turns out that I wasn't the only person there. I'm so used to it just being me and Heather that when somebody walked up to me and went, well, he helped me come out, and I'm like, wow, I'm not actually on my own here. If you're wondering why my face keeps lighting up, as always, I've had to put my camera against the TV, so TV colours are playing while I'm talking. I gave Jade a Buffy patch. You know, like patches for your bags and your coats and stuff. It wasn't my original idea, it was a backup. But he'd never seen a Buffy patch before. Like, he'd never been able to find one, and I'm like, I must know some real diehard fans. And then I said what my name was and how a lot of people mistook it for Billie Jean because of the song. So he starts singing Billie Jean but replaces Billie with Kathy, and it's like, from anybody else, I would be severely insulted right now. Because it's Jade and he's such an amazing singer, it was like, yes please. I got to tell Will that I managed to not spoiler when I was talking to people about season 3 of Humans. And he said it's really, really hard, especially like when you're on the receiving end, you know what's happening, and you want to tell your fans, but you can't. I was like, well, that's why I asked why you were always so enigmatically creepy. Because, well, Niska, she says enigmatic a lot. So it was kind of a hint. He's in season 3 and Niska's in season... never mind. I don't know what Dom thought of me though. I was like, hi, I have all this stuff for you, and I have this stuff, and hi. I dropped my folder on the table by accident because I was so flustered. And then I had to go through everything to get everything from Carla, the letter from Heather, and the autograph that Adam wanted, the autograph that Lisa wanted. And he's only one armed because he's done his shoulder, and so you're like, am I asking a little too much of him, or what? And my reasons for going were Jade, David, Matt, and Dom. But Will is always a bonus, although he does do a lot more normal conventions. And then there's Chai. I still not sure if that's how you pronounce his name or not. He's Kyle. And I've been watching Mako, which is this... He says it was originally a Disney show, but I saw it on Netflix. I have a thing for mer creatures, but I always like mermen because there's so little information about them. And he's like, I got to swim with sharks, and I got to swim with stingrays, and it was really freaky, and I had to swim with a tail. I'm like, I've actually heard people doing that as a general thing now. And he asked where I was from, obviously, other than England. So I said, Yorkshire. And he looked at his agent, and his agent said something, and he turns to me and goes, Game of Thrones! And I'm like, sort of. We do have a few Greyjoys that come from West Yorkshire, but Lady Elena and Ed Stark are both South Yorkshire, so I just went, that's South Yorkshire, I'm West, I'm more Star Trek and Doctor Who, Patrick Stewart and Jodie Whittaker. Of course, he knew Patrick Stewart, hadn't heard of Jodie Whittaker. He will have, if he watches Doctor Who soon. She's going to make quite an impact. And I have to admit, I don't think I completely thought out what I was saying to what I was saying to Alberto, because I never know what to say to him. But I gave him the stele and everything from Carla, and he loved it. And then I met Nicole. Everyone just like changing the name, how they pronounce the name. I just said Nicole. It was easier with her. She's Canadian. It's nothing intricate in the way her name goes. And I said that, like, when I'd done the costume competition, that I'm a big girl. It's never gonna change. I can dye it till I'm blue in the face and it'll never change. But I love cosplay, so I do it for the hell of it. I'll whine and moan and say I look like a burst bag of shite till anything, but I went up there with all those stick figures and Sam. Not that I'm saying Sam's big, I'm just saying I knew her, so I know her name. I didn't know the other names. And I stood there in front of people who were better cosplayers than me, people who were more enthusiastic than me. And I represented the circle. Oh yeah, I think. My circle's still there. I have scrubbed this thing till my skin is raw and it's still there. And yesterday you could still see some of my rooms. I'm going to have to work on, like, finding a makeup remover. Anyway. So, none of my photo shoots came out the way I planned. Either that was myself, or photographers, or just me being flustered. I don't know. But I got them, which was key. And, it was interesting because people you queue up with, you get into some weird conversations. There's this girl from Belgium, she's coming to Panoramium, and she was watching football. Well, she was watching the scores, and I'm like, you're queuing up to get a picture with two Brits watching Belgium kick our asses. And then I thought, okay, this could be interesting. So I dared to tell them. Apparently, it was an interesting experience telling Will, They were hand in hand, and the minute she said where she was from, he released her. I knew Will was a football fan. I wasn't entirely sure Dom was, but apparently Dom got a bit flustered as well. I wasn't around at the time. I wandered off. And I'm like, possibly a good idea that I went first, because being British, I would probably get dragged into this. Next time I go to Shadowhunters convention, the cat's at, I'm going to make more of a thing to talk to her and to be more present, because on the Saturday when she was there, I spent most of my time in queues. I got her autograph and I had my picture taken with her, but yeah, I look like I'm doing jazz hands, and I'm trying to do when Melion swishes the portal open, and I'm there going I look like either drunk or stoned, like silly jazz hands. So anyway, I don't know what to say about Milan. Guys, come on, questions, please. Not just like now, but if you have anything you want to know, or... I have been thinking about if I do it again, or if I do another European convention, or if I do Hunter Shadows. I have a few things I'd need to edit as to what I did last time. Taking less packing, and thanks to Sam, I know about the Ziploc bags and everything now. I need to find those water bottles that Claire was telling me about. They seem to have gone off Etsy, like, you know, like carry-around water bottles. You can get them, you get these ruined ones. I'm not sure if she still does them, but I might ask. One thing I have definitely got to remember in future is always carry 2 fans, because somebody's gonna nick one. No, I offered my fan to Sam because I don't feel hot and cold, and she did. But you just sat there going, I have this feeling that it'd be a really good idea to carry a fan that you can offer to the actors who aren't used to this kind of weather, like Dom or Will. British weather, not the same as Italian. Take more than one cosplay. More than one wig, that's for damn sure. I went to get ready on Sunday to do Hodge, and the wig didn't want to work. So I was basically doing this all day. I literally had to do that and push my fringe out my way, and just say I was doing Hodge, instead of having short hair like you did at Forsaken. I'll always represent Starkweathers. I love the Herondales, I always will. Will's how I got started into Cassandra's work, but I've always called myself a Starkweather. I'm from like an hour-ish away from the York Institute, which is important to them in the film devices, and I really strangely identify with Hodge, which is why I love John so much, because he thought into the character. He actually thought about what Hodge was, who he was, rather than just what he was. Anyway, if you guys have any questions about Italian Institute or conning in another country, feel free to message here, PM me, anything. I have to say to all the girls who I saw last week, Natty, Sarah, people whose names, as I always do, I've forgotten, I apologise if I was a little overmuch. I was panicking about getting everything done, and then panicking about not getting everything done, and then it was much of a muchness, as they say. But I have my survival list for if I do end up having enough money to do it again next year. I'm not holding my breath. I mean, unemployed writer, you never know. But while I may not be able to do, I may or may not be able to do another European convention, I do have an English convention coming up in December. Zerata, who are actually Spanish, are holding a Shadowhunters convention in London, in Brentford. And Dominic and Matthew and Isaiah are going. And I'm hoping either Chai or Jade or somebody else comes, because I know Zerata are known for doing like 4 or 5 guests for a con. This is what I've looked at in the previous stuff. It's in London, it's home turf. I have my Harbour with me, and my dear Ali's going, and I know some of the people who are going. It's going to be interesting. Whether or not we manage to save Shadowhunters, whether or not the show ends on this two-parter, there's always going to be a reason for conventions. The fans are enough. I mean, there are still conventions for Buffy, for Teen Wolf, for Torchwood, and all the shows are gone. But they're not gone. They're still there. Fans are still there. There's just not new episodes. Unless you count fanfic, of course. Anyway, nobody's on, so I'm going to sign off. And although there are no pictures of it, Matt did do me the honour of giving me the Vulcan salute. So, to you one and all, Shadowhunters, live long and prosper. I'm going to press the button.